What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SpeedSim. My name's Amy.
And I'm E-House.
And today, we're just going to do a little overview of micro chest rigs and our
We never
thoughts.
talk about these.
No, never. But I just wanted to give a little bit more kind of general overview of, what we like, what we dislike, purely on micro rigs.
Yeah. So the advantages and disadvantages of micro chest rigs and maybe some of the different offerings.
Correct.
Now, I actually have used several of these, so I'll have some thoughts, but let's get right into it.
Okay.
So I think, first of all, the most simplistic of all the options on this table, and one that I actually still use and like, is the Spiritus Bank Robber.
Yes.
So
I
just...
actually haven't gotten to use this yet. I've been meaning to get to use it, but I just keep forgetting about that I have this and it's just sitting in the backlog. But I really like this for the minimalistic aspect of it. I know you've used it extensively, so you have more to say about it.
Yeah, I do. So I used mine at SS Airsoft actually most recently.
Oh, right, you did.
Yeah, and what I like about the Bank Robber is that while it's very minimalist, I think it offers a lot of utility. Because of the fact that the pouches are elastic, it will hold AK mags, it will hold M4 mags, and it will also even hold an Odin speed loader or a radio or grenades. You can actually fit a lot of versatility into what would seem like just a pretty straightforward, 4-cell elastic rig. And that's what I like about it, is that even though it is so simple, you can use it for such a wide variety of things. You can have 2 M4 mags, your Odin loader, and a grenade in there, and that would be actually a really viable setup for an open play type of game, because if you're going through 3 M4 mags and your average 15 to 20 minute round, then you've got your Odin and you can just reload them, which is perfect. The other thing I like about the Bank Robber is that it's not too expensive.
Yeah.
It's relatively cheap, relatively affordable. It'll fit any straps you want to put on it, so you can save some money there.
Or you can even integrate it with a flat pack.
Yeah, and Garrett actually did a review of the Bank Robber that I'll link down below. He goes into it in full detail, but you can also fit like tourniquets, which we don't use too much in Airsoft except for at like Milsim West, but you can fit then smoke grenades or anything else you want with these elastics here, beer, cigars, for after the game, but you can do a lot with that. Right. And that's what I like about the Bank Robber. It's super minimal, but you can do a lot with it.
Right. So I guess the next step up would be the SpeedQB NCR. I did a whole review on our channel. We'll leave the links down below. But again, very minimalistic. So we only have one quick strip at the moment, but that's going to change in the near future. One thing I want to mention that I forgot to mention in the review was that you can actually buy their triple mag pouches and put it on the Molly. On the Molly, it will fit. It will fit the whole real estate. I didn't have one in my possession, so I didn't know if it would work. So I was a little on the fence on that. So I didn't fully honest, but I just want to make the record clear right now that it does fit the triple mag pouch on there. It doesn't fit the individual ones. Yeah,
that does have a little bit more capacity than the Bank Robber too.
That's why I say it's the next step up.
Yeah, so that is a little bit more capacity and a little more flexibility because you have that Velcro on there.
And you can put the a dangler on the bottom, which unlike the Bank Robber you cannot.
Yeah. One feature this doesn't have though that you get when you step up to the next ones, which some people might care about, is plate carrier integration.
Correct.
There's no Velcro on the back, but the air mesh is there, which you like better.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of give and take. The air mesh I really like, especially indoor games. It gets a little hot in there, and that way it whisks away, and it's super. That's actually really comfy. I really enjoy this. Plus, the admin pouch is actually really, really handy up top here. Put your phone here.
That's actually something you don't get with these other ones.
Correct. Yeah, but I really like this. It's a neat little package. So I guess the next step up would be the DC3RM, arguably. So with this one,
it's kind of like a, I don't know, I feel like these next ones are almost kind of a sideways shift as much as anything else, but you can scale them up.
Correct.
But that's when we'll get into the pros and cons.
Right. Again, one I just recently haven't been able to play with it yet. We recently, like I said, went to SSR stuff. I've been using the NCR, but I picked this up because I was really genuinely interested in this. But however, it has much like the Spiritus, which we'll talk in a moment. It has Velcro inserts. You can put M4 pouches, 308 mags. You can put pistol pouches or SMGs. All of them here, you can fit 3 M4, 2 308, and 4 SMG/pistol mag pouches on top. Then it has 2 pistol mag pouches on the side here, which you can put in addition to either your rifle or your 308, or you can just put more pistol mags if you wish. Also, you can put in speed loaders, which is what I plan on using it for. Putting a little speed loader here.
Speed loaders, multi-tools, even
flashlights.
smaller smoke grenades will fit in there. 40 millimeters will fit.
And then on the front here, it has a little admin pouch, which again, you could put, the Ares Striker mags in there as well, or, you can put other stuff like you can put a map in here, you can put a radio in here, but there's a whole bunch of options.
Get creative.
Very creative with this. Again, it has Velcro on the back. You can put your danglers on there. You can also put expansion wings if you want to. It's a very versatile little package.
And now that you have the Velcro on the back, it can be plate carrier mounted, which some people might care about, some people might not. You don't give a shit.
I don't care. Don't worry about it. I just like micro rigs.
Yep. But that's where you're starting to get into more options for expansion.
Correct.
Like the bank robber and the NCR are pretty fixed. Those are going to be micro rigs no matter how much you set them up. These start getting into expansion options. You could technically mount these on the G-Guard too, which I know Corey and Ian will have a hard on for me mentioning that. But that's these can be added on to other stuff.
In addition, you can put this in with a flat pack or just a regular fat strap.
Yep. And you can technically do that with either of these
Correct.
two.
You can do the
NCR once you've modded the clips.
Correct.
And you can do it with the bank robber at any point, though. I mean, that's so small that I don't think that's really what it's designed for.
Right.
But yeah, you can do that with any of these. You can expand them as you need.
You can, like Eric said, you have to mod this in order for that to work.
Yep. And then the Spiritus. This is something both of us have experience with.
Correct.
This can be set up so many different ways. There's a lot of different setups out there.
So originally, Eric put me on to the Spiritus because I've seen him using it quite some time a couple years ago. He recently got rid of...
Yes, I did get rid of it, and we'll talk about why.
So for me, I literally just bought this because it was a sweet micro rig. I could, put as many pistol pouches as I wanted on here and run as many mags. And then it slowly evolved into being my Milsim rig. And I'll tell you why. Because this has so much expansion. It has one single pocket up on the top and another one on the bottom. Now I use this for my sniper. The top one I have a Persec. I don't even know what you call it.
Persec gear, zipper insert.
Zipper, thingy. So I can put my sniper mags in here and I have a zipper on top, so that way I can enclose it so the BBs don't get dirty. Sniper stuff. And then in the front I have Matt Hay and Engage Tactical made me these Aep Mag Inserts, because like you guys all know, Aep mags are kind of a pain to find mag pouches for, so I had him make me some. And next to it, I just have 2 pistol mag pouches, which I really don't have a use for, but I needed something in there because it was kind of not filling the void. And then I also had Engage Tactical make me a admin pouch on the front. Now I use this for maps, multi-tools, snacks, all sorts of fun stuff. And then in addition to that, I have an expander wing for the Baofeng, and then I also integrate that with a dangler where I can put grenades, speed loaders, Odins, etc., etc. And this is now my primary Milsim chest rig, and I really enjoy it because I can mount it onto my flat pack, and I can use it in multitude of different ways.
Yep. And I had mine set up, I'll remember basically, I had the 3 rear M4 mags, I had a half flap admin pocket, and then 2 pistol mags. I had the dangler set up, and then I had the expander wings. And actually, the expander wings are kind of what were the crux of me ending up getting rid of my Spiritus. So this is kind of where I start getting into the weaknesses of rigs this small for me and for my uses. So are these rigs amazing for what they're designed for?
Yes.
Yes. These are designed to be minimalist rigs for carrying not a whole lot of stuff and for just being able to grab and go. They're designed to be range gear. They're designed to be, minimalist airsoft gear. They're designed to be either integrated onto plate carriers if you want more sustainment. And that's where I ran into my problem with the Spiritus Systems Mark III. Or I don't even know if mine was a Mark III or the Mark II technically.
Mine's a Mark III.
Yeah. So
for those who care.
So I ran into the weakness of I started trying to expand it to use it with more stuff, and I found that the more you try to expand a micro rig, the more you run into the limitations of the micro rig. The expander wings or any of the expanders that you can put on these for my body and my use jabbed horribly into my sides when I tried to put anything in them, and also as a result of being compressed by the straps that are holding the rig to your body. If you run those straps tight, which you're supposed to, you can't get stuff in and out of those expander pockets easily. Even if that's like a Cry Embedder style pouch like that, the Spiritus expander wings, you run into issues of being able to actually use that extra space that you've put on there. So then all of a sudden, all you really have as usable space is that microscopic footprint. And while that microscopic footprint is great for basic use, what I realized pretty quickly was that the only micro rig I really ended up using that much was the bank robber. Because if I wanted something I could just grab and go to an indoor CQB field, I wasn't even really grabbing my pistol that often. And if I was grabbing my pistol, I was grabbing my belt and then using my belt as that kind of rig where I could carry all that stuff, not have anything on my chest, and have all that on my belt, which I think for me is a better reload. It depends on where you want that kind of weight. Is a micro chest rig a great kind of replacement or supplementation to a belt? Absolutely. But I found that the second I tried to step the micro rig's capability up without mounting it to a plate carrier, I didn't really like that. So that's where this is kind of, God, and this was considered a micro rig when it came out, is the funny part.
Yeah.
The D3CR is kind of as small as I go for rigs these days, because even though it's a small footprint, there's a lot of capacity here. You can hold 4 M4 mags, you can hold 4 pistol mags or 2 pistol mags and a multi-tool and a speed loader, smoke grenades, anything like that. And then the utility pouches can hold radios, batteries, grenades, any number of other things. And I can even take off the rear here and put this on a plate carrier, much like any of these micro rigs, or I can put a holster wedge in here and have a handgun mounted behind it, and this can be my grab and go rig for the day that holds more stuff than something like the Spiritus and holds more stuff than something like the NCR, but isn't that much larger of a package. And I can also supplement it more easily. I've got the dangler on here, so that can hold all kinds of stuff like my Odin speed loader. And this I find works better for the longer games that I'm generally going to. So I wore this to, the Seneca Directive by Mere Tactical. I wore this to several longer open play games out at Hunter's Creek and anything like that. And I just find that this type of setup works better for me because I do like to carry a little bit more stuff. And even if I don't fully load this up, even if these pistol mag pouches are empty, I'm not really losing anything by having this slightly larger footprint. And that's kind of where I ran into where I didn't really care for these micro rigs as much. Whereas you, on the other hand, never carry that much stuff at all.
And that's why this is my permanent Milsim gear. Because I have so many other ones. I have this, the DC-3RM, the bank robber, and the NCR, and they just work for different things. This is my indoor rig. This is for, whenever I feel like going absolutely minimal. And this one I want to try out just for the shits and giggles of it, because you can hold 3M4 pouches, 3M4 mags, and then a bunch of other stuff. You go to like GZA, for instance. Yeah. This would be perfect for that as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It's just, what are your personal needs that you want? If you want to carry more stuff and don't think there's enough stuff, don't think I can expand this and it'll work just as well as a bigger chest rig, because I don't think it will. Think, if I don't want to carry a lot of stuff, these are a great option. They're super minimalist, and a couple of these are pretty cheap, which is nice.
Yes.
Whereas, if you want to carry more stuff, get a bigger chest rig. That's my personal recommendation.
For you, for your body, for body size.
Exactly. Well, also for body size, too.
Yeah.
Like, I find that, these minimal chest rigs kind of look tactibra. It's kind of funny, but honestly, that wasn't even really the deal breaker for me. It was just the fact that, when I wanted to expand the space, I couldn't. And I'm like, well, why do I have 2 M81 rigs if this is the only one I'm using? Right. So that was kind of my motivation, and that's kind of where I ended up with micro rigs, whereas this is about the smallest I'll go.
Correct.
But it's all just a matter of perspective. It's all a matter of what you need, so be sure to evaluate your needs and leave your thoughts in the comments below.
All right. Hope this video helped you guys. This was another episode of SpeedSim. Once again, my name is Amy.
And I'm E-House.
And we'll catch you later.
Peace. Thank you for watching this video from Gun Gamers. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. Check the description below if you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a patch, and use the coupon code JUDY10 for 10% off of your next order at Amped Airsoft. Thank you again for watching, and praise Judy.